There you go. Perf.
3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome into Kenny and Emily's podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the Democratic Republic of Congo. This is a very long issue that's been going and is
For
still
about
going
30 years.
for about 30 years. And it all
Yeah.
started from this.
The agenda, the background, the issue, the how the issue was resolved. And then we go on to connecting the issue to the material.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
the issues with the conflict. So, the Democratic Republic of Congo has been
Mm-hmm.
involved in conflict for more than 30 years. This has started with the Rwanda genocide in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
After the genocide, many of the people, including armed forces, have fled to the eastern Congo, which in turn had created ethnic tension and brought in foreign fighters into the region. Due
Mm-hmm.
to the instability that had been created, Rwanda and Uganda had invaded the DRC in the late 1990s in an attempt to stop hostile militias and take advantage of the region's mineral wealth. Can you help me understand how you know, how this has happened?
It happened
Okay.
due to um due to Rwanda and Uganda invading the DRC in an attempt to take advantage of the region's mineral wealth. This would later be known as Africa's World War, which took place between 1998 to 2003, which involved several African nations and had resulted in deaths of millions of people. The
Millions?
instability and the rebel groups had never been disarmed, which had resulted in the continuous cycle of violence.
Okay. Some of the parties that were involved. The M23 was a group of ethnic Tut Tutsis who had launched a rebellion in 2022, claiming that, sorry, I'm in there, claiming that the
Congolese.
Congolese had
Mm-hmm.
not made the effort to integrate Tut, Tut, oh, Tutsis into the army administration.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go?
Another party that was involved was Rwanda. They had accused, they had been accused of backing the M23 rebels. They had also had a long history of military intervention in the Congo, but they had denied backing any of the rebels that had been involved, even though last year a group of UN experts had said that up to 4,000 Rwandan troops had been fighting alongside the rebels.
Okay. The Congolese government
Hmm.
is a government in Congo alongside the US and the UN,
Hmm.
and experts have accused Rwanda of fueling conflict by deploying their own troops and heavy weapons in Congo to support M23.
Hmm. Another party that was involved was the UN peacekeepers, and they were involved as mediators, and they had been supplying support towards the Congolese government in order to remove M23 rebels, even though they had had little to no um like what's the word?
Um, little support?
Yeah,
No?
support
Okay.
or uh like they didn't succeed in being able to remove the M23
Hmm.
rebels.
And that's
Yep.
why there's still a issue today.
Mm-hmm.
Along as well as the UN peacekeepers, um, I did hear about the fact that they stopped like people. They stopped like um, what's the word? They were no longer useful. The UN peacekeepers,
Hmm.
they weren't
Hmm.
really mediating anything after a while.
They hadn't succeeded.
Yes,
Yes.
Allied democratic forces, an
Hmm.
armed extremist rebel group that had been involved in violent attacks in the region, some of which resulted in civilians' deaths. Probably a lot of
Yes.
civilians because efforts toward peace.
That there had been many efforts towards peace within the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Um, the United Nations peacekeepers had been seen as weak and not able to do anything about any of the M23 rebels. And while there have been many talks about peace between the Congo, Rwanda, Uganda, and other countries, it proved to be little to no avail. Along with that, the Congolese government and their allied forces had implemented new military operations as well as implementing sanctions on some rebel leaders and their military commanders, though that has proved to do little to nothing.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Application of the theory. Not our professor has been providing us with lots of key information that resulted in some of the global problems today. And we have noticed a trend. A lot of the nations they share the same struggles, that like the same theory that
Mm-hmm.
makes them be not strong countries because of these reasons here. The conflict within the Democratic Republic of Congo connects well to the
Mm-hmm.
paradigm par, paradigm theory realism. The states act in self-interest to secure power and resources as opposed to acting in the interest of everyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
The alleged support towards M23 from Rwanda can be seen as a realist strategy in an attempt to secure influence within Eastern Congo and gain access to critical minerals. Now, these critical minerals, they actually power the cell phones for a lot of the world. That's
Mm-hmm.
why it's so important, the Democratic Republic of Congo to not be fighting these wars because as soon as they're taking over, these minerals and metals can be used all around globally and maybe not be used for our phones, which we need, or
Mm-hmm.
could be used to be making other things that, could cause damage rather than good. The
Mm-hmm.
DRC government, in turn, seeks to preserve sovereignty and territorial integrity against external interferences. While there is sense that UN peacekeepers have the ability to solve the problems within the conflict, they're also criticized as being weak and in turn reinforce the realist view that states cannot rely on international institutions for the security, which that's a very dangerous thing because we have so many global treaties and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So if these treaties aren't strong, that's what's balancing the world.
Yeah.
So as long as we have failing treaties, people might have to live in fear because
Mm-hmm.
we don't want that. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Oh, go next.
Hmm?
Go next.
Oh, I'll go next. Okay, summer.
Yeah. With the summary, um, building a little bit on how not having a treaty towards peace can be harmful. if they don't have a treaty towards peace, they are constantly in this cycle of violence. And if
Hmm.
there's nothing to be able to prevent that, it's just going to continue and continue and
Yes.
continue. And while there have been efforts towards being able to like build a peace treaty because of how many countries are involved, as well as how many how strong the economic um mining company is, and just the involvement of other countries is going to be very, very hard to be able to prove any peace within the country.
Hmm. Hmm. And without peace, um, and power among civilians that are living inside the country, they
Mm-hmm.
can do whatever they want because how
Yep.
corrupt it is. So these are
Yep.
people's um kids are dying on the street. That's
Yep.
to be real. And
Yeah.
um
There is no regulation.
no.
It's all a free for all.
Hmm.
And within that, people are dying when they should not be dying.
Here are references.
Hmm.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak on such an important issue. Um, yeah. Did I stop recording? Am I recording today? Are we good?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's right